Well, welcome to the latest edition of Grace Words. I'm glad you could join me today. Not long ago, I was in need of a new power drill. The old one just wasn't cutting it anymore. Here's the new one. It's an impact driver and it's powerful. It'll drive screws in just as easy as you please. Here, let me show you. Doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That's better. Now it works the way it's supposed to. Well, this admittedly heavy-handed illustration does make a point, doesn't it? In order for a tool to do its job properly, it needs to be plugged into a power source. Otherwise, any amount of effort on the tool's part is kind of futile, isn't it? Well, you might be wondering what I'm driving at, no pun intended. We, as Christians, are God's tools. God wants to use us to accomplish His will, but if we try to do that work in our own power, it doesn't usually end well, does it? In the book of John, chapter 15, verses 4 through 9, Jesus says this, "Abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, so neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away as a branch and dries up. They gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned." Just like a power drill is pretty useless without a battery, we are pretty useless to God unless we are plugged into Him. The same goes for trying to live the Christian life. God has given us principles to follow that will help us to become more mature disciples of Christ. But so often, I know I fail to follow those principles because I'm trying to do it in my own power and with my own strength. I become angry or afraid or apathetic or given to temptation because I haven't chosen to abide in Jesus. So how do we do that? By reading and meditating on His Word and praying regularly. You've probably heard that before, but those two things really are the key to a vibrant, growing Christian life. Unless you are plugged into or abiding in the power source that is Jesus Christ, you're just wasting your time. The Apostle Paul put it this way in Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." If you are trying to accomplish great things for God, or just looking for strength to get through another day, but just seem to fail more often than not, plug into the ultimate power source. Abide in Jesus Christ. Well, I'm Tim Carmen. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to go get some work done. See you next week on Grace Words.